How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Ringu. This is from 1998, directed by Hideo Nakata, and stars Nanako Matsushima, Miki, Nakatani, and Hiroyuki Sanada. And this is, of course, based on the novel Ring by Koji Suzuki. The top of the box will tell us that this is the original version that inspired the American remake. Now, it is worth noting that there was a made-for-TV version before this, but this is definitely the version they used to make that movie. It introduces several new elements, and it is really the best version. But anyway, we would get the remake coming out, as well as the remake of The Grudge, and that would kick off this whole wave of American remakes of J-horror films, an interesting period in film history to say the least. But I'd imagine that this is why they put the title in the original Japanese pronunciation, just to help these two DVDs be more distinguishable. Ringu is the Japanese word for ring. You can call it Ringu, you can call it Ring, either way it doesn't matter. But I will say, this movie is pretty cool. It is a horror classic. It's got such a cool, iconic concept behind it. Finding a haunted VHS tape with an actual cursed video. A cursed video that makes you die in 7 days. I mean, that's like urban legend stuff, but to find a real one and for it to actually be super, super creepy. And then that kicks you off into, well, how do I prevent my death? And you get this sort of procedural mystery type deal, but with a supernatural spin, and you get to learn the story about the ghost behind the haunting, and constantly having that ticking timer, that 7-day deadline, and seeing all those little subtitles saying, this is this day, another day is passed, you only have so many more days left. It really does add a good element of tension to it. And I will also say with the mystery element, with the 3 prominent versions of The Ring, first the book, then this one, and then the American remake, we can see it marching more and more into horror. The original novel was much more of a supernatural mystery. It did have horror elements, but when you get to this version, it pushes the horror a little more to the forefront. It tells you right off the bat it's a movie about a haunted VHS tape, and in the book it took a little while to get there. Plus you get cool things like the blurry face photo effect, and even the famous crawl sequence was unique to this movie. And pushing it more into horror, it was really cool, but still keeping a lot of that mystery element there was really fun as well. When you get to the American remake, the ghost is messing with you the whole time, and you get that super heavy green-blue VHS look across the whole film. This one reads much more naturalistically. Instead of the green blues, you get lots of browns, you get some longer, wider takes. It's much more naturalistic cinematography, and that helps sell the fact that this is a natural world that is disrupted by the supernatural element. But boy, so many things going on here. A great, great original concept with that VHS tape, the mystery concept that comes in, the super cool ticking timer. The Ring's a classic for a reason. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I mean, I think both versions are fun, but this is the one you want to check out. But anyway, I do want to do a little bit more of a breakdown and analysis of this. I'll be avoiding major spoilers, but I want to say my piece on a few scenes and dig down into a deeper dive, so I won't ruin the end, but let's talk a little bit about that plot. We open up with 2 girls, and it's almost like a Scream opening where they're talking and the phone's going off. And you get to find out that they know about the VHS tape rumor. It's been going around, people are talking about it, but apparently one of the girls did find it at a cabin trip with a few of her friends, and all of a sudden, the phone goes off in a very tense sequence, and we cut away. We'll see what happened to her later, but we get a bit of distance, not knowing exactly what happened to her, but knowing the curse did catch up to her. Well, it turns out that this girl's aunt is a reporter she goes to the funeral and finds several of the girl's classmates talking. It seems that everybody knows of this urban legend, and amongst the conversations, she finds out that her niece isn't the only one to die. 3 other people also died, the people that went on that cabin trip. And what could have caused this? Is the supernatural videotape real? Well, she's going to have to hunt through clues, do a bit of a mystery, and find the cabin that this all took place in, and also find that VHS tape. And as I hinted at earlier, seeing that creepy VHS is definitely a highlight of the movie, but much to her surprise, the phone does ring, confirming that the legend is real. Well, she has to figure out how to solve the curse, and she brings in her ex-husband Ryuji. Now, it is noted that this character is way different than the book, and this is actually a much better version of the character. I really like how his character is done here. The first time we see him is when the kid is walking off to school alone. They pass each other on the street and just kind of look at each other for a second. That's a good hint that they know each other, they don't hate each other, but their relationship has grown kind of cold and distant. And you see that he gets along good with his wife. You never find out exactly what happened, but it seems that Ryuji in this version has a psychic ability himself, and that this probably is something that tortured him and why he wanted to sort of strike out on his own. A really interesting version of this character, and also the idea of a psychic being an outcast will help tie him even closer when we find out more about the tape's mysterious backstory. Well, he insists on watching the tape too, putting himself in danger to help his wife out because he can't really help solve the mystery if he doesn't know what's on the tape, and they begin to piece scenes from the tape together. Locations referenced in the tape that are also referenced in the rumors, and will eventually start to figure out the mystery behind this ghost. And it's a really cool, tragic tale of this ghost finding out what her life was like and what led to the eventual tape. Some cool stuff and some cool mystery elements, all leading towards a really good ending. Again, this version of The Ring is a lot about realism crossed with the supernatural, and as we go further and further, getting more and more into that hole, until we eventually get towards some famous scenes at the end, and a really good ending, especially that final moment once you realize what you have to do to lift the curse and what it all means. It's really, really cool. Overall, The Ring is a classic, and I could probably say a ton more on it, but I don't want this review to be terribly long. Definitely go check it out. Cool ideas, cool timer, a really cool ghost, and a really cool concept behind it. I think this movie's fun. Definitely check it out. Anyway though, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. If you want to see me talk about more stuff kind of like this, you should be able to find that there. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.